has gone through a similar revolution since the coming to power of His Excellency, the President of the Republic of the Gambia, Sheikh Professor Dr. Alhaji Yahya Ejeje Jammeh, who has engendered a social transformation to put the Gambia on a higher pedestal of socio-economic development. We are very proud to have friends, and we feel proud to be able to tell the rest of the world that your government and your people are one of our most distinguished, one of our special friends around the world.
On this occasion, I would like to also accentuate one very important and interesting matters to me during the state visit of His Excellency the President of Yahya Jammeh to Turkey upon the invitation of Turkish President Abdullah Gül. When he visited our country, I was the accompanying minister to His Excellency the President on behalf of the Turkish President and all Turkish government.
Cooperation for development projects in areas ranging from education, energy and infrastructure, and a handful of others were touch-based during the meeting. It was henceforth revealed that more Gambians will be availed scholarships to obtain university education in Turkey.
I have been briefed that some very important conclusions have been reached that are sure to further elevate the already admirable level of economic and social development in the two countries. And I want to also use the opportunity to thank your government, through you, to the President, Prime Minister, and the people of Turkey, because I have personally seen that since the President Jammeh's visit to Ankara, your country has injected a lot of support in addition to what you have already done, both in terms of the health sector, in terms of the legislature, and other myriad areas. All these developments we cherish, and we want to say thank you and to assure you of our continued support as a country.
He is the health minister and not Turkey's finance one, but perhaps as the leader of the mission, Dr. Mohammed revealed that the trade volume of the two countries, which is around $50 million, can in the near future be at $100 million and later at $500 million. This, he said, is achievable sooner than later, citing Turkey as a typical example, which has leaped from a foreign trade volume of $5.4 billion to $25 billion. Having congratulated the Turkish government for their victory in the recent elections, the Secretary General and Presidential Affairs Minister was optimistic of this and other issues they discussed during the engagement. Notwithstanding, he further emphasized the stance of the two brotherly states as regards their bilateral cooperation.
I must state that our relationship with your country is considered very special because of many reasons. First, of course, because of the very special relationship between our two presidents. But second, because of our shared values. As you know, people have spoken about the clash of civilizations in the international setup. But what I see is a clash of values. And what I notice and what I admit and cherish is that the Gambia and Turkey are two countries that are known all over the world for their independence of mind and the girding of their sovereignty and sticking to their moral and religious values in spite of all the undue criticism and undue attack that sometimes comes from the powers that be in the international arena.
It may not be long since the coming into being of a Gambian embassy in Ankara in 2010, followed by a Turkish one in Banjul 2 years later. But as manifested in even recent times, the Gambia-Turkish sovereign and independent cooperation for mutual development is surely one of the best around the globe. Modu Bajan, Grts News.
The Women Empowerment Crusade, initiated by the President, His Excellency Sheikh Professor Alhaji Dr. Yahya Jammeh, is paying dividend, having registered laudable achievements since 1994 to date. From the First Lady, the Vice President, this development transcends the length and breadth of the country as part of the crucial African Forum on Women's Advancement being hosted in the country. Ibrahim Balde gives us a postscript on Gambian women and the challenges of meeting unrealized dreams.
In the Gambia or in several African countries typify the struggle women face on a daily basis. It is perhaps these and other challenges that compel them to join the struggle and be heard. In the Gambia, the women believe so much has been achieved under President Jammeh's leadership. In March this year, the Vice President, Her Excellency Dr. Aissatou Njie Sedi, led a delegation comprising prominent women to Brussels for the African Women Forum. She was there to represent the First Lady, Madam Zainab Yahya Jammeh. And as international institutions and individuals pay homage to the Gambian leader for the change in gender dimension, cabinet ministers are full of praise for what has been done so far.
We women in the Gambia should be proud of ourselves and be proud of our president and continue to support him. We cannot do anything other than make sure that we support him to push his agenda forward, given the fact that he has created the space for us to operate as women and also for us to show our talents, and he has been supporting us to excel.
It is not just a crusade that was championed. It's about the pioneering work of the First Lady and a determined husband pushing forward a national agenda.
We must also remember that the spouses are also important. We have the First Lady. If the First Lady is also a supporter of the President, and you know what they say, behind every successful man, there's an even more successful woman. So it's because of her support, because of her role in this movement, that we have such a very vibrant women's movement in the Gambia.
The issue of gender equality and empowerment resonates quite well to many people. However, to some, they argue that it is practically impossible to do without women.
In all facets, not just in some key ones, but in all facets of life, there is no way you can exclude women. In business, in parliament, in managerial roles, in homemaker roles, in every facet, basically, in education, in judiciary, everywhere you talk about, you have to have the inclusion, and you have to encourage the inclusion of women, because we've realized and we've attested to how much impact and how much contribution they have made.
As Gambian women look forward to celebrating the International Women's Day, the Vice President makes an important point.
But it's not only a celebration, it's a day of reflection. We look backwards on the challenges that women face and how to alleviate those challenges, and what are our achievements as well, and what is the way forward. That's why we celebrate the day. We don't just make festivities and dance and finish with it. No, no, no. That's part of it, but there are other aspects, very serious aspects, that we usually discuss on International Women's Day.
According to preliminary results from the Central Bureau of Statistics 2013, the Gambia has more women than men, and that a good number of Gambian women dwell in rural settlement. Their major preoccupation is farming and horticulture. Ibrahima Balde, Grts News.
Meanwhile, the Office of the Vice President and Ministry of Women's Affairs, in collaboration with the National Coordinating Committee under the chief patronage of Her Excellency the First Lady, Madam Zainab Yahya Jammeh, is hosting an international conference as part of the events marking the 2014 International Women's Day celebrations on the theme Pan-Africanism and African Renaissance in the context of gender and empowerment of women and youth, from Thursday 29 to Friday 30th May 2014 at the Paradise Suites Hotel. There will be a march past of the security services, institutions, women's groups, voluntary organizations, as well as school children on Saturday 31st May 2014 at the SSP grounds in Brikama at 8 a.m. prompt. All are urged to attend and participate to make the program a success. Meanwhile, the situation is gradually improving and gender equity is systematically getting down to the grassroots. Our Farmer Fofana tells us more on a new project recently unveiled in Janjanbureh in the Central River region.
The launch of the project for the promotion of women's equity for access to resources through marketing federations came as a huge relief to these women. The intervention, according to the chairman of the Janjanbureh Area Council, marks an important day in the development of the region. Yankuba Marena said Janjanbureh Area Council is always prepared to associate itself with any endeavor geared towards rural development. Lamin Sam Jaite is the director of AVISU, the Agency for Village Support, one of the implementing agencies alongside Concern Universal and Women Initiative Gambia. He said the project, which also operates in CR North and South as well as the West Coast, will help build the capacity of women in establishing marketing federations so as to maximally reap the fruits of their labor.
The project is all about empowering women to be able to effectively participate in the socio-economic development of the women and the country.